Hey guys, and welcome back to day 12 of Apollyon single/server player series. I'm joined with PaprPl8. He's also on a Mumble server with me. I'm getting prepared to do a thermal centrifuge because I went mining and I have a ton of just ore all over the place ready to be thermal centrifuged and then cooked up. So I'm just finishing up getting some uninsulated copper wire so that I can make some of these insulated copper cables. And then I need a bunch of them for this too. Some tin. So let me get this put together. Oh, and I need to macerate 4 diamonds, which I'll do now. As you can see, I've been mining quite a bit. I will throw these down here. I'm going to have to put some of these machines up there too, so we can just use them as single use. But for right now, let me do this, and this takes a while, so I will be back in a second. Hey guys, welcome back. This is something I haven't made before. It is the advanced circuit, which just requires a normal electric circuit, and then this pattern. I should have everything to make... Oh, so you take these diamond dust, you get 1 per diamond, so this lapotron, or whatever crystal requires. Okay, so I need to take and build it in this first. Then you take that and you throw it in the compressor. So while this is cooking up, I have everything else that I need. This advanced machine block required carbon plates, which required raw carbon mesh, which required raw carbon mesh fiber, which required pulverized coal. It is way faster to pulverize things in the pulverizer than it is to macerate them, at least at beginning levels. So that's what I did. I basically used, instead of the macerator, I just used this. And you actually get sulfur out of it too when you're smashing it. I don't know if you get it out of the other one. I wasn't really paying attention. It just took forever. So you can update them and stuff too, so it won't be that big of a deal later. So then there is my crystal. Now I want to make the laser. It was this, these, this guy, and my advanced. So there's a laser. So now I should have all of that as well. It's just not going to work. And then 4 pieces of iron. Alrighty, so now we have a thermal centrifuge. I'm going to go put that down in the basement here. I think right there is fine. This takes a while to heat up, so you really want to queue up a bunch of material to go in it. So basically what I've done since last episode is I installed that extra transfer node on the back of this guy, and I'm just sending it back into this. So that's how I was just able to sort of automate it. And I also added trash cans on both of the inputs that will just destroy cobble, because I quickly filled up my extra chest with cobblestone, so I am getting rid of that for now. I will eventually replace this barrel with a bigger barrel, and then I'm probably going to auto convert it into there, but you can always use the igneous extruder to do that. So let me figure out how I want to automate putting this stuff into this centrifuge, and I will be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. What I decided to do is, for right now, I'm just going to use these item ducts to pull out of this, and then I'm going to set a blacklist of the items that I want to go into here. I forgot, I'm going to need to pull them out of here. So I might just use the thing I was already using. So I'm going to do that right now, and let me go get a pneumatic servo, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. I decided that I needed two servos, one for the automatic pullout of this and one for the white list of this one, sorry. Or actually it's going to be the blacklist of it. So this one I need to automatically pull out. This one I'm going to blacklist all of these, which are the big version of the other one. The tiny piles and everything will go back in there. So this should only allow these items, or not allow those items to go in there. And then they should come in here, and then I'm going to use this guy on top of the thermal centrifuge, not connect that, to, let's see what happens when I do this. Oh, I guess not. Nothing. Alright, so I'm going to run it to here and then fill in this stuff. Running out of block sides. So now these things should genuinely come out of this and go into here. So I don't have any ore to try it with, but that's what I'm hoping for. Before I fill everything in, I'm going to test it. But let me go get a bunch of my ore, and maybe I'll just throw it in. I'm just going to throw a bunch of ore in here for now, and then let it smelt up so I can get some more resources. Alright guys, I'm back. I just threw a bunch of my crushed stuff up in a hopper to try and see, and it's just about to heat all the way up, and then you'll see it kick on. It uses a ton of power, so be ready. Well, I think it'll use a ton of power if you overclock it, but you can see it's already barely using it. So this will actually produce iron dust, and then whatever that was. So it'll produce a tiny pile also, it looked like, and then some iron dust, and then you can just take and smelt up the iron dust. So my next step in this process is going to be to get a induction furnace to speed up this process again. The induction furnace is actually going to require quite a bit of energy also. So in the next few episodes I'm probably going to start working on steam power. That's why I made that tree farm in the first place, was for a solid boiler. I don't think I'm going to necessarily make a big one, but I might. I don't know. We haven't used any of the sorry, brain fart. We haven't used any of the chunk loaders. We haven't used the chunk loader yet on the server, so maintaining the power may not be an issue, because once we all log off, it'll just stop, so it won't stay heated up and all that kind of stuff. So let me start working on an induction smelter, and I'll be right back. Sorry guys, I was mistaken. Induction smelter is actually the thermal expansions version that I was thinking of. The IC2 one is actually called an induction furnace. An induction furnace is an electric furnace surrounded by an advanced machine, or surrounded by copper with an advanced machine block, which is what you already saw me make. So let me get that made, and I will be right back. I want to try something out. We have these auto crafting benches, or auto workbench, from Buildcraft Factory. So it's just basically 4 wooden gears surrounding a crafting table. And what I want to happen, let me just set it down here, is that all of these get produced in various stages of the process. So what I'd like to have happen is create the grid like this and have it just auto craft them. So I think that is going to be what I do. It takes a little while, but it'll just fill it up, and I don't think that it'll use the last one in there, so I can just use a normal pipe to pipe it in and then pull out the other stuff. So if it just sits in the back there and like this, and then it inputs all of the stuff, it'll automatically spread it out, and hopefully it'll start creating it. And it's not. I guess maybe it will if it's empty. If the inventory is empty, it'll probably take it out of there. So let me get started setting this up, and I will be right back. Hey guys, I'm back. I figured out what I kind of want to do. I don't know if it's going to be perfect or not. I didn't need to put the pneumatic servos on this because it looks like it's just feeding it down this tube. So basically what I did, it's still centrifuging all this stuff, but what I wanted to happen was all the tiny piles need to be combined, like I said, to make the iron, or to make the dust pile. And then what is happening is it's automatically filtering. You can see one coming down the tube now into the correct thing, and it's going to put it where it needs to go. And as soon as this pile gets removed, which is what I'm working on right now, it will make the next one. So, oops, I need to install a servo on the next few here. So you install the servo, I need to set it to be disabled, then add another one, install a servo, set it to be disabled, and then one final one, set it to output, give it a servo, set it disabled. Now what this should do is it will automatically output into this chest. Well, it'll output, I'm just going to put it back in the mix of everything. I'm going to put it down one just so I don't have to see it as much. So it should go back up in here, and because all these have inputs, it'll only go back into this chest. So now it should pull that dust out of there. This one. Yeah, see, it pulled the dust out and it sent it along its way. I'm sure it's somewhere now. I just missed it. But basically that is how I'm going to automate that part of it. So now I need to get back to either making my induction furnace or making another furnace to just go down here and set up and cook, or set up to cook all this stuff. So let me figure that out real quick. Just finished the iron plates for the induction furnace. Now I need to make a redstone furnace with an electric circuit, so I'll need another one of these. I did not make. 1 second. It is some iron. I think I figured out where I want to put it. So what I'm going to do is just put it right here above this chest. I'm just going to put it right above it, or next to it. I might actually put it next to it now that I'm thinking about it, and then just inject into it and then do the whole process again. So basically what's going to happen is these are all going to produce these dusts, right? So it's going to produce the dusts, or this is going to produce the dust, and then it ends up putting it right back into the system. So the way I have it set up right now, most of them are only, so this is the only input. So what I'm going to do is set this to be the longest path, which is what the wrenching just the tube does, so that when I put an input over here for the furnace, so that I can just connect it straight to this line here, and it'll end up forcing all of the dust to come this way, and then I will just put the dusts back in the, either I'm going to put it back into the chest so that the chest was just reused and it'll pull stuff out of it. So I think that that's going to be the plan so far. Let me get all this stuff together, and I will be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. I'm about to make my first, I think this is tier 2 induction furnace. So here we go. No, I am going to need one more piece of, oh, look at that. I forgot to mention that PaprPl8 has been working pretty hard on his Thaumcraft stuff. Is basically what he's been doing most of his time. He's been busy. But he put these paving stones of warding, and what they do is prevent mobs from crossing it. So they work really, really, really well as a door, so you don't have to go in and out of them and open them and stuff. So, and then you don't hear the zombies banging on it and stuff. So it's kind of a nice addition. I actually shut these 2 engines off for now because I was pulling a ton of lava out of here, and I had to keep moving it around, and I keep having to find it, and it's just a big pain in the butt. So anyway, I'm gonna move this. I think I'm gonna upgrade it to an iron chest also. I need to get this back so I can get the servo out of it. I'm gonna move it over here. I'll put this one here and this one here, and then an induction furnace. It should have power. It's gaining power, and oh, I need another servo. Let me go grab a servo. I already actually had the servo made, but I'm just going to make this into an iron chest. So I can... Oh, I know what else I need. I want that auto ejector. So I need to reset it. So I'm going to set it to... So the chest is going to be on the back side. So I want to set it to this side. See how it switched down on the bottom there? You can see it's pointing to the left now. So when son of a... I can't? I forgot that the induction smelter doesn't do that. So I am going to need to do something else for this. But I installed this servo here. Bummer. Okay, so I want these things to go there. Or all the dusts. So it should actually start happening right away. The one thing about the induction smelter, or induction furnace, sorry, I'm going to probably keep calling it that, is it has a heat percentage. What that basically means is anytime you put something in here, you can put 2 items at a time, so that's kind of nice, but anytime you put something in here, it takes a while for it to heat up to go at its max speed. So what basically is going to happen is it's going to take a while for it to actually get to the max temperature, but you can actually use a lever to turn it on and leave it on, but I don't think I'm going to do that because I don't really want it to. I don't think I want it to stay at the temperature, because when I come back from mining, I'm sure I'll just shove stuff in here and it'll be going enough anyway, so there's no point to like using electricity. So I don't know, maybe I'll try and do something later. I guess I don't need this to be an iron chest now, but oh well. Alright, so I need to just set this to pull it out and then change it back, so that's a bummer. Alright, I'm going to make another... I guess I'll just make another conduit and hook it up. I'll be right back. I was actually realizing that it wasn't working because I had this set to blacklist, so I'm going to whitelist it, and it should suck some stuff down here now. But what I'm going to do here is just get down, just run it underneath. Oh, I need another stupid servo. Okay, so this should start pulling stuff into here right now. These are still leaving here. I put one or overclocker in it. The overclockers are kind of a pain in the butt to make, so I haven't really done a whole lot. They require a lot of heat too, so that's pulling it out and putting it into the chest directly. That's not going to work. Shoot. Alright, I have to figure out a way to fix that. I will be right back. Alrighty, one of the newest patches to this release is the ability to use stone covers, or covers for that matter, to prevent things from connecting to each other. Prevent specifically these conduits from, or the item ducts from connecting to each other. So now I can place two item ducts next to each other without them connecting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to install yet another servo here to pull these down so it goes down inside there, and then it'll do what it needs to do. That way I don't have to try and rework how this is going. So I think that's going to be the best bet for me for right now. So let me go make a couple of servos. Alrighty, I'm back. I'm going to put one there and then one down here. And then, there we go. Now just pull it out always, and as you can see, it worked-ish. So this one should have a whole bunch of stuff in here, and then now once I turn this one on, it should also pull all that stuff out. Yep, pull it all out, and then it should go in its rightful places. So what happened there? So the little tiny dusts go over here, and then they'll come down in this thing and sort themselves out. This seems to be working as intended. That's the one thing I didn't have enough tiny piles of copper. I wasn't thinking that this would actually use them, but you needed them, so I have to go get more. So in theory, I can put this stuff in here, and it should just go right into it. Huh. Yeah, I didn't think about that. So what I just saw was, because there's no buffer chest in there, this one is actually just, it'll bounce back, and then what happens is it's going to go back up into the whole process again. So what I'm going to need to do is put a buffer chest in between this input and the induction furnace, and then put another item duct between the two. Alrighty, let me do that real quick. Alright guys, because there's only 5 different dusts, I think I'm just going to use a hopper for right now. If it causes a problem, maybe I'll go something later, but I'm pretty confident that this will work for what I want. Because I shouldn't ever get more than 64 of any one of these in here at any time. So they should just go in, and then because it's not connected to the bottom anymore, they'll get inserted in the top and then pulled out the bottom and then sent back along their way. So I think that that's going to be a decent fix for what I want for right now. It's ugly, and I'm probably going to redo it once I change up some of these so that I can get a little bit more going. This is actually causing quite a bit of strain on my power system right now, the way it is, because my reserves drop pretty quick, at least from what I know. And then this actually can draw, it doesn't show it like these ones do, but it actually draws 128. So once this is fully heated, it's probably going to start drawing quite a bit. So as you can see, it put some dust in there, so it's going to just put them in. They're going to drop in immediately, and it can hold up to two different kinds at once. So I'm going to actually stress test it right now just by putting all of the extra dusts that I've been collecting in it and see what happens. Yeah, this is going to be way too much for it. All right. Well, let's do this. Okay, so I guess maybe I'll just do them separately for now. So the good thing about it is it'll fill up a different kind in here and do them both at the same time. So that's kind of nice. See, now it's filling up a second one of iron. So once those 4 get out of there, I guess I'll stick another one in there. So this will start heating up, and then this will go really, like, you'll just see them blaze through it. So that is the full setup for automation. I know it's ugly. Sorry about that. It won't be as ugly once all this stuff gets filtered through. It will still be ugly, but I don't know why I did it this way. I mean, I could have made it a lot better so that this actually output directly into this guy, and then it all just kind of waits on this thermal centrifuge. But for right now, I think that that's good enough. Although, now I see another problem. This is going to finish. Well, actually, no, it can't, because this one actually has a... Nope, it doesn't. I'm thinking that I probably needed a buffer chest in here, too. Because what's going to happen is these things... Yeah, that would have never worked. When I put new ore in there, it's going to come out of here and then just get sent back up here. It's not going to actually go anywhere. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. I'm going to go mining, and then we'll take a look at it and see if it's fully automated. I think that I'm still going to have some hiccups. Okay, so what I'm going to do is put a chest on these. I need to go upstairs and get the... where that went. Huh. Okay, well, what I'm going to do is put the chest up here so that it'll just be a buffer. I think I could probably do that with this one too, so I'm going to probably do that to make it look the same, and then do that over here as well. So I'll be right back when I have all that set up. I had to make these iron chests for 2 reasons. The first reason, they would connect to each other if they were the wooden chest, and the second reason is they look cooler. What? That can't be a reason? Alright, so what I'm going to do is set up this one first. So this one needs a servo on it, and the servo needs to only allow the ores in it. So I need an empty hand, which is kind of irritating. Okay. There we go. So now I can reconnect this, and they should go down here. I'm going to set this one to the shortest path. So basically it's... Oh. Arg. Okay, so I didn't... Again, I wish it would default to whitelist. So I'm not really sure what it's doing. Oh, so it's mass rating all this stuff. That's wonderful. Okay. I don't need it to do that. So right now it's just waiting on this guy to finish. Okay. So that one works. So that works for that. Now I need to set this one up similar. add the servo, click on it with an empty hand, and put all of these in here. Okay, so what that does is it will only allow the ores to go in there. And I'll put this guy here, unconnect that. So now it's back to what it normally is, but it's got a little bit of a buffer so that I don't have to sit here and babysit it. And this should be the better... Okay, that was because I didn't have it updated yet. So now it should be... I'm going to do the same thing over here, actually. I don't have all the piles, though. So maybe I'll wait. Anyhow. Okay, so that about wraps it up for today. This is Apollyon saying, see you tomorrow.